So this is the aluminum frame that goes up around the marine hatch, and it is already covered with marine vinyl. This is the back of the marine vinyl. All right, you can see that's the marine vinyl. And these pieces right here are pieces of steel that I've painted on one side, and I'm going to take those pieces of steel and I'm going to glue them up against this frame. And that's why you see all kinds of binder clips and clamps over here that I'm going to use to hold that as it glues. Why am I gluing steel against the aluminum? Because we're going to have a screen here, and that screen is going to be held up by magnets. And the magnets are strong enough to go through the marine vinyl. So here's a little cutoff of the marine vinyl, and the magnets easily go through that. They're pretty strong magnets. So that's what we're doing now, and I'm using this clear Gorilla Glue, which has worked extremely well so far, and you really don't want to get it on your hands because it's a gooey mess and tough to get off. So that's why the blue gloves. And you know, I like the little binder clips because the binder clips are nice to hold things temporarily while you get the real clamps in position. All right, that's it. Now we wait, and tomorrow we'll take the clamps off and do the marine vinyl. So it's dried. I already took a few clamps off. And you can learn from my mistakes, because this clamp right here, a little of the glue got on the foot of the clamp, so it glued itself right to it. But it's okay. It did take off some paint. You can see the circle there where the paint came off because the glue adhered to the foot of the clamp. Also last night I put on the corners, I glued this piece of marine vinyl because when I cut this and fold it over to glue it in, it's going to be at a 45-degree angle, so it wouldn't fully cover here. So I put this in so that it'll still be white and still be marine vinyl all the way around. So what I'm going to do now, and as I'm talking to you, I'm thinking about it, is cut in. I do want to leave it high because I may want to go a little bit beyond the height of this so that it will match all the way up with the hatch. It's a little higher, so that's okay. Just generally. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, I applied contact adhesive and I flipped it over and I put caulk, Lexel caulk down here to help smooth the edge. And now I'm going to pull it up and hopefully I can make it smooth and stick. So I'm hoping that that Lexel caulk will give me a nice smooth rounded edge. Or at least it will. When I showed gluing this up, you might wonder why this long flap was here, that I left so much material. And the reason is that I want to be able to cover up the flange of the aluminum hatch. So this is going to go up to the top, and hopefully I'm going to cut it so it goes all the way around and neatly covers up that flange from the aluminum hatch. Under this paper I've got polywall, which is a semi-rigid piece of plastic, and I'm going to cut strips of that and put that against the marine vinyl and glue it along the marine vinyl. That'll make the marine vinyl rigid, and then that will snap up against the marine hatch aluminum, and that will lock this in place so that it is also removable in case I need to take the roof hatch down to make any modifications. The hatch is open, and I'm going to place these rigid pieces of polywall and glue them to the marine vinyl. And because of the curvature of the roof, this piece isn't perfectly straight. It's at an angle, and I was confused on how am I going to get that in the perfect spot on this marine vinyl so it matches the angle of the roof hatch. Well, the answer is simple. Put that plastic here, put my contact cement on both of them, and just press it up and glue it in place. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to put contact cement on these and wait a few minutes, of course, and then apply that up there, and that'll get glued. And I will do that all around to all the different sides. And then that'll make this look nice and finished when it's up here. Here's the roof panel that fits where the marine hatch is. You can see I've taken the marine vinyl and I've extended it up right to meet where the aluminum trim is on the hatch, and that's really good. But in order to do that, I had to cut this marine vinyl at a 45-degree angle in the corners, which left an area bare. So I have taken and I've made patches to go in there to make it look a little bit better. But now I need to glue these patches down securely. I've glued them in the center, but now I need to get that as tight as possible and try to make that edge disappear as much as I can. You'll notice I cut this one tapered a little bit so that it won't be seen unless you're looking at an angle. I'm trying to hide this as much as I can. Now, for the glue, I'm going to use shoe goo. This shoe goo stuff is excellent. If you've never used it before, it works really well. It's really different than normal epoxies, right? It works on rubber. That's what we're working for. We're working with this vinyl here. So the key to this is this dries crystal clear, and that's why I'm not using the normal contact cement, because that contact cement dries a funny brown color. So that's what I'm going to use, and I'm going to use these little Q-tips here to apply it, and then once I get it on and I push it down, I'm going to use some painter's tape to keep it nice and tight until it dries, and I'll let it dry for a day. While we're talking about the vinyl, this vinyl is really nice, but it does get dirty, and when it gets dirty it's difficult to clean. The best cleaner that won't harm it is this 303 convertible top cleaner. You use this. I use it with a toothbrush to get any marks off, and so far it's been working really well. Now, when I bought these, I bought them off of Amazon, and you can buy them as a kit together, but that's more expensive. You can buy the bottles individually. One is the cleaner and the other is the protectant, and I saved a little more than $10 by buying these individually. So that may not be true when you buy it, but remember, the channel is called The Frugal Factor, so I'm trying to get the best deal that I can in pretty much everything.